wanna get high, man?
Let's stimulate your mind.
Get up, Chucky!
What have we got here? A fucking comedian.
Rojan Kim.
California dreaming.
Hello, and welcome to the Rojan Kimcast. It's me, Rojan Kim.
West Coast
Welcome to this new episode of the Rojan Kimcast. This is of course, the post-quarantine, post-pandemic episode of the Kimcast. Gonna have a little video feed here for you. Why not? Because I'm stuck here at home, just like you. Yeah, you might as well. There's 12 people out there listening to my lovely voice. There might as well be 0 more watching my lovely face. Okay, so what's the news, huh? What's anything cool happening? Can you imagine waking up in a coma right now and trying to be like, okay, where do we start? Well, Donald Trump is president, so I guess we'll start there. Then you have to actually fast forward through the last 4 years of like, yeah, there's like this whole Russia thing and the impeachment. And it just bye. Anyways, we're in the middle of a pandemic. I mean, you're going to just have to skip to like, yeah, remember like the plague, 12 monkeys or like, outbreak or whatever, it's like we have a full on one of those going on. Anyway, welcome back. You have to be in isolation now for 14 days because you were in a hospital and you probably have it. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Here's the thing. We don't know who's got it. That's the thing about this country. Here we are. America, number one, right? USA, number one. We rank number one in confidence, guys. Number one in confidence, number 27 in healthcare. And we are pitting them against each other. That's right. Who's going to win? Confidence versus healthcare. You know what I'm saying? Who's going to win? And up to this point, confidence has been going pretty strong. I got to admit. Now, I am not one to be, I don't like being like, I told you so. I don't like being one of those guys. I've been online trying to fight the good fight of battling misinformation because I do think it's actually very important because one of the things I started realizing or learning about this disease was that it has a cumulative effect. So whatever you think is going on now is not going on now. What you're looking at now is stuff that is the result of 2 weeks ago. So 2 weeks ago, we are seeing the results of the people getting sick now. So people getting sick now probably got infected 2 weeks ago. What's happening now? The quarantine, the lockdowns. Listen, this is Los Angeles, and I got to give it up, actually, to Garcetti. Okay, Eric Garcetti, the mayor, went ahead and banned groups of 50, went ahead and banned restaurants, nightclubs, closed it all down, shut it all down over the weekend, Monday, right? New York, on the other hand, I'm afraid of New York, y'all. I mean, New York, their cases are exploding. They have a huge population density, right? It's like just kindling for a fire. Mass transit, the schools, de Blasio waited until Sunday night to announce that the schools were going to shut. It's a big old fuck you to all the working parents, right? And then he announced, under much pressure, to shut down bars and restaurants by 9 p.m. And then today he was like, no, I mean today. I mean, come on, man. You can't fucking, this shit is serious. 2 weeks from now, the inaction, okay, and the choices that individuals have made will start having repercussions. The consequences are coming. And I'm not going to be all happy about like being right and being like, here's the thing. My last open mic was on the 5th of March. And even then I was nervous. I was just like, I don't like it. That was the last joint or blunt I shared with other fellow comics. Last time I shook hands with comics, last time. And it was a bit early, yeah. Bit early, but I guess my whole thing was, honestly, my whole thing is I started listening to Steve Bannon. I mean, I know. What is going on? Is he a Nazi? Are you a Nazi, Rojan? No, I'm not a Nazi. I just saw the dude on Bill Maher, and I was like, interesting. I mean, everybody says this guy's a Nazi or whatever. Let's hear some of his Nazi stuff. So I went and listened to him, and next thing I know, found out he had a pandemic podcast. A podcast about the pandemic, sort of covering the shit going on in China from January through February. So I had been listening to this shit for a while and seeing it coming and seeing the writing on the wall and seeing how it's coming and kind of like listening to our media per se, but media like podcast media, but also foreign media, people in Asia, people in Italy, seeing what's happening there, looking at the numbers, the graphs, seeing the trajectory, and kind of coming to the conclusion that we're fucked. We're fucked. I mean, we're not fucked in the sense that we're all gonna die. It's not like the 12 monkeys disease, you know what I mean? It's not like the end of the world type of thing, but it's big. Obviously big. I mean, come on. How many people were like, oh, they're overreacting. Everybody's overreacting. It's just a flu. It only kills 10 times more. I mean, people are going around going, it only affects people over 80. I'm not 80, so fuck it. Like, that's what, you don't have parents. You don't have loved ones. You think that's the virus just goes, oh, according to this, only 80-year-olds are affected, so I won't affect. You think that's what that means? No, those are just probabilities and percentages. The average person can get sick, could maybe get really sick, okay? That's not something you want. The other thing is that, people are overreacting, but let's just say you were in a little village and you smelled smoke. Smelled some smoke. And you're like, I think something's burning. But then people are like, nah, come on. What? That wouldn't happen. That never happens. I'm like, okay, fine. And then you start seeing smoke. Like, hey, there's like a saying or something, right? It's like where there's smoke, there's fire, right? They say that. Yeah. But maybe like, hey, you know what? It's always fucking fires. Everybody's burning fires. It's like, it's fine. It's not going to happen. And then you start seeing the fire. And the sea of fire, it's like over there. It's coming, right? It's coming towards you. And you're like, should we do something? Should we do something? Should we do that? Nah. And at this point, is it overreacting to be like, hey, let's start moving away. Let's gather our stuff. Let's get as much toilet paper as we can and stockpile it as fast as possible. Let's just do that, okay? At that point, the people who stand around and go, oh, come on, it's not going to happen. Nothing ever happens. That's the problem, right? That's a big problem. So it's called the normalcy bias, right? You may have seen it online. You may have seen it. It's the phenomenon that occurs when there's some kind of disaster looming for like something like 70% of the population to just say, everything's going to be fine. Someone's going to fix this, because that's what usually happens. So someone's going to fix it. I guess according to like historical accounts, when the volcano exploded at Pompeii, Vesuvius, back in the Roman times, most of the people in the town just watched the volcano. They were like, ooh, ooh. They were just like, hey, this is pretty sweet. Nothing's going to happen, right? And then, boom, they were covered in ash and frozen in time. And we could tell their story. Thank you, the people of Pompeii. People of Pompeii who gave up their lives so that I could tell this example of normalcy bias to you fine people to understand what's going on. And it's totally normal. See, here's the other thing is like, I don't think it's very useful to be like, you fucking morons, you should have known, or be like, I told you so, as the bodies start piling up and being like, haha, lording it over people. It's just not my intention, and I don't care. It's not about being right. I don't care about being right, guys. I don't want you to die. Do you understand? I don't want you, your family, your kids, whoever the fuck. You really think numbers are exact? You really think that you just go, oh yeah, it only affects these people, so fuck it, I'm going to roll the dice. It's like, you think that's really how it works? Nah, man. This shit is for real. People don't just shut down all the shit for nothing, okay? It's for real. I read a report today that the Goldman Sachs people think something like 50% of the country is going to get it. Something like half. Germany, they're expecting 60 to 70. England, same, 60 to 70. They're kind of hoping for herd immunity. Okay. And in some ways, I think I talked about this earlier, herd immunity is a thing. It's a thing. It has to happen. That's why it's so dangerous. The whole point of this thing being so dangerous is that there is no herd immunity. And that's why we're all so susceptible. So once people start getting sick and getting better, they can get out there and start being, less susceptible to the illness. And then you kind of, there's a natural sort of like waning of the disease, right? The only problem is to get to that point, we're still going to have to go through all the numbers. right? And so you've seen the whole thing, flatten the curve. We're trying to just convince everybody without having to go full totalitarian, like in the Asian countries, to convince people on their own to just stay home. Stay home, man. Stay home. So that's good. We should. The only issue here is that the staying home will, yes, flatten the curve some, slow down the rate. I mean, we'll see in 2 weeks if there is a slowdown in the rate. In the next 2 weeks, from now till then, we're going to see a huge spike in increases because the past 2 weeks, people were going out and infecting others. So all those open mics I didn't go to, that was really in an attempt to not just avoid infection myself, but to avoid becoming a vector, a symptomless vector. So I think that was one of the things that really alarmed me learning about this thing early on, was not just the fact that it's like a disease that could kill you, that you could get from other people. It wasn't just that. It was the fact that it became obvious that it was asymptomatic. You know what I'm saying? Like you could spread it without symptoms for days. For days, they're saying like something like up to 21 days, 14 days, just going around spreading it without even knowing. You know what I mean? So that means everybody's got it. That means you got it. That means I got it. That means we all got it. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. We don't know. So that's the whole thing. Listen, you got to start looking at numbers and shit and trying to understand what the shit means, right? And in some ways, you can't look at absolute numbers, like the number, actual physical number, and make any kind of sort of judgments or. You can't just be like, oh, there's only 50, so whatever, I read this one report, this is from a data analyst who is like, listen, whatever number of cases they report, let's just assume there's anywhere from 30 to 50 times that amount out there unreported, okay? I mean, eventually some of them will get found because they'll have severe symptoms, but that's just how it is. If you look at the different rates, okay, the important thing to look at is the number of cases and then the number of deaths, because you can't really hide the deaths. Yeah, that's the thing. You juke all the stats you want. That's probably what's going on in the United States. Can't have cases if you don't test for them, right? Genius, right? Genius. Can't have cases if you don't test for them. But you can't hide the deaths, the bodies. As the bodies pile up, you're just not going to be able to hide them. You know what I mean? You're going to have to record all of them. As the ICUs pile up, as people are starting to pile up in the hallways, just can't ignore that. So we're never going to know the real number. We're never going to know unless, we're never going to know. I mean, that's just simple. We could get good at it, pretty close, if we do what South Korea is doing. And I think there's a lot of articles on this. You should look at the difference in mitigation strategies between South Korea and Italy. So the thing about South Korea is like they didn't really go on a full-on quarantine. I mean, they sort of did a social one where people in, just like here in LA or New York, whatever, people are voluntarily staying indoors, social distancing, all that stuff. They're doing that. Also, Asian cultures are mask cultures. They're used to this idea of, see, the whole point of the mask, guys, for my non-Asian friends out there, the mask doesn't protect you. I mean, unless you're like a health professional who's got one of those N95 masks that are like sealed. The virus can just get in through the side, go through your eyes. It goes through your eyes, your nose, eyes. The mask is not going to protect you, okay? But it does protect others from you. And here's the thing. Most people are asymptomatic. Again, no symptoms. That means if you don't have symptoms, you're going around spreading it. So that's what the masks are for. The masks are so that you don't spread to other people. On the other hand, if you are very, very nervous about being around masked people, especially Asian masked people, you have to understand that they are the safest people to be around right now. Don't you understand? They're all protecting you. The masks are stopping their virus particles or slowing them down from coming out of their mouth and nose into your mouth and nose. You see? So they're actually doing you a solid. You know what I mean? So let's just, come on. I get it. Did that chick eat the bat? Yes, she was eating the bat, all right? Are they eating bats? They're eating worse things. You know why the bat is like probably one of the best things. Perhaps one of the most palatable hygienic things coming out of China is that bat soup. You understand? They're using sewer oil for cooking. You don't want to know. Okay? But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, wet markets are a thing. They probably should be stopped because this isn't the first disease that came out of a wet market. But you know what? It's not just wet markets. It's agricultural. Agriculture, like meat industry, swine flu, bird flu, all that stuff comes from industrialized meat, right? I'm sure there'll be diseases coming out of, there's probably plant diseases being formed because of agriculture. Like, agriculture is a real problem. Yes, wet markets with high populations and mixing of the blood and the feces and the cooking and the blah, blah, blah. And, I don't know if this really matters to you guys, but honestly, you can't get shit by, can't really get it. Like, I don't think this virus really was transmitted by eating a bat per se, but somebody might have gotten bat shit and fed a pangolin, and then the bat shit got into the pangolin, and then the pangolin shit could get into your hands, and then when you prepare food, that shit, because the virus goes through shit. So that's what the hand washing is all about, and that's what the avoiding of restaurants and all of that is all about, because they found a fecal oral thing, okay? So yeah. Main transmission, air droplets, breathing. See? So it doesn't have to do with like sanitizing, washing your hands, all that stuff. I mean, that stuff will help, but it's really the breathing. You got to get away from people. You got to get away from them, okay? You got to get away. That's just what it is. You got to keep it in your family cluster. Keep it in your family cluster, okay? So the hand washing and all that stuff, that's really to deal with the fecals, little fecal particles, maybe little air droplets that may have landed on you. You know what I'm saying? You got to do it. You got to do it because you end up touching your face. All that stuff is real. Mask, by the way, also helps you stop touching your face directly. It kind of reminds you there's something there, so you might stop. Some people say maybe gloves aren't good because they give you a false sense of security and start touching everything and then end up touching your face. I don't know. Mixed on that, though. I think it would be a good idea if you're going into a public place where a lot of people congregate or whatever to have a little protection. Not a bad idea. But here's the main thing. I feel like a lot of shit's going to unfold in the next 2 weeks. Already it's like day one, right, of the first work week of quarantine in a lot of cities. And tensions are high. Can you hear the sirens? There's a lot of sirens. You can probably hear the increase in the frequency of the sirens as time goes on. As this week continues, you will hear more and more sirens. You'll see the numbers spike dramatically. People will start getting scared. The idea of exponential growth it's an alien concept. It's not easy to grasp because it's not something that you see, you don't really see growth in that way. And this is one of the rare times where we can see this kind of growth, in the growth of contagion. So, look, forget the numbers. Forget the numbers, man. Look, we don't know how many people are being fucking tested. In South Korea, they're testing like 10,000 people a day, okay? 10,000 people a day. That's why if you look at their death to case ratio, it's super low. First of all, their population's pretty young. The first group of people who got the virus were actually in their 20s and were just spreading it like crazy. Something like one person ended up spreading it to 800 or something like that. I mean, the numbers are wild. I mean, this is what the madness is all about. So South Korea is like, fuck it, we are testing everybody. So they fucking test like 10,000 people a day. That's why their cases are so high, but their deaths are so low. So that's what you got to look at. Fuck the number of cases. Don't worry about the number of cases. Look at the number of deaths versus the number of cases, because that will tell you what's going on. That will tell you how slammed a country is. You know what I mean? So look at Germany. Germany's got, I don't know, something like 4,000. I don't know. So Germany's up there. I can't remember how many, 4,000, something like that. But their deaths are way lower than, for instance, Spain, right? Spain is their neck and neck. Spain has way more deaths, okay? That's part of, that's a testing thing. So look at the U.S. U.S. is on a similar trajectory. We're hitting about 4,000. Our deaths are pretty high. Deaths are high comparatively, you know what I mean? And that means we're not doing a lot of testing. The people who do get tested are actually really sick. By that time, it's too late, and people are starting to die. Because we don't know who has it. We don't know who. Not only do we not know who has it, if we don't know who has it, that means it's being spread in hospitals. That means the people on the front lines, the heroes that are helping people, your grandparents or parents or whoever it is that's going to get sick, they're getting sick too. In 2 weeks, a bunch of healthcare professionals are going to get sick. They're going to get slammed in that way, okay? And all those motherfuckers have been working nonstop, no sleep, double shifts, fucking just going and going, making decisions of who gets the ventilator, who lives, who dies. I don't know. Oh, my God. None of this is funny. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, none of this is funny. Okay. This is a comedy podcast. I'm trying to provide some lightness, but it's tough. You know, it's just like the fire metaphor I was saying. It's like, if there's a fire coming, it's kind of hard to talk about, kind of hard to be like, hey, so how about the pumpkins are nice, right? I mean, it's just hard to, at that point, it's just kind of equally ridiculous to just pretend like nothing's going on. And I promise you, at some point, as this continues, I'm not going to just keep harping on this. You know what I mean? I'm going to be coming up with wild and wacky things to entertain you guys. Don't you worry. But I also think information is valuable at this point, at this juncture. We're actually at a very crucial time where misinformation is incredibly deadly. Here's the thing. Everything that's happening now, over this past weekend, there was tons of people out because they knew it was St. Patty's Day. They knew it was like shit was going to close down. So they were like, hey, we got to get it together. Go party before we're locked up. Well, 2 weeks from now, you're going to see the effect of that. Okay? So that's what we're in for. We're in for months. I think we're in for months, honestly. We're in for months because I don't know if our healthcare system has quite got it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. I mean, you can dream. A fella can dream. Listen, I hope I'm wrong. Honestly, like, I mean, and me, I don't know anything. Why would I mean, I hope they're all wrong. I hope all the scientists are wrong. I hope Italy, China, all those guys are it's not appropriate. Somehow we're better. We're special. American exceptionalism will win out. Our number one confidence, number one cure for the coronavirus. Maybe that's what we find. I hope so. Honestly, one of the things that could happen is this virus mutates and it's not as deadly. It's very possible. I hope that happens. I hope that happens, and I'm wrong, and you can all make fun of me for the rest of my life. You could, right here, I'm saying it right here. I'm saying it on video. Here's my face. If I'm wrong about this, please mock me forever. Call me Kojin. Kojin 19. I don't know. Just call me whatever. Say, you fucking, remember you're all like, we're gang, yeah, nothing happened. You know, it's like when hurricanes start coming and then like it goes the other way and you're like, meh, see, nothing happened. I welcome that. I want that to happen because I don't want to see, I have people out there that I don't want to see get sick and die. I have friends who are doctors, family members who are doctors. You know, they're going to get sick first. Like, I don't want any of this shit to happen, so I really hope it doesn't. I've been online trying to fight the fight, combating misinformation, or at least even at this point, skepticism. Even skepticism, I feel like, is dangerous. A lot of people are like, well, if the flu has killed 35,000, really bad messaging by Trump, by the way. If the flu killed 35,000 people or 50,000 people by now, it can't be as bad. Yeah. You know what? The flu has been around for hundreds of years. People are immune. We have a vaccine for it. And even then it killed that many people. This is brand new. We don't have a vaccine for it. We don't even know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen. Spanish flu, there's 2 waves. There was a spring wave. That's now. There was a fall wave. That was way deadlier. So there's a chance we could do this all over again in the fall, guys. That's what I'm saying. You gotta look into history, look at the fucking past trends, look at you see what's happening, and sort of look at the predictions of what possibly might happen. There's a chance that Wuhan is not fucking, when they get everybody back to work, somebody gets sick again and it starts all over, man. There's a good chance of all of that. That's what all of this is about. Honestly, that's what all of this is about. Is it the end of days? No. Could it be? Maybe. I don't want to lie to you. I mean, I think we're going to be okay. I hope we're going to be okay. I hope the shit mutates. I hope we don't die. I don't think it's that kind of thing. The real thing is, can we rely on the kindness, not just kindness, but the capability of others to act in a group, to be more Asian? Honestly, just can you be more Asian, guys? Everybody, they asked me to be more Asian at auditions. Why can't you be more Asian during a pandemic? Huh? Just fucking, don't you see what they're doing out there, guys? It's collective behavior. It's to help everybody. It's to help everybody. Just this one time, you know, we could try it. We could try it, be a little more Asian because we're going to be forced to. We're going to be forced to. And so, yes, here's the whole thing that they've found out in China. You know, in Wuhan, they started doing severe quarantine, isolation, social distancing, all the stuff we're doing now. They did all the stuff we're doing now, and they found out it wasn't enough. You know why? because it was spreading inside of the house. Fucking the whole families were getting infected. Okay, and the thing about China, different from the U.S., is that they live with their old people. They have big families, and so that was a real problem. One person would go out, get infected, come in, infect the whole family. You know what I mean? And it was just like, oh, fuck. So they figured out what they have to do is to actually build quarantine hospitals. That's what all these hospitals... Heard that they like built a hospital in 10 hours and then a hotel collapsed because they were trying to put all these people in it or whatever. Like, that's all because what they found out was once someone is infected, they got to take them out of the house away from the family, or else you just infect the whole family. Okay? So that's what's in store, right? Unless you fucking test everybody like South Korea, what's in store is they're going to be building makeshift hospitals. Okay? They're going to isolate people. They're going to have to take people out of their homes and put them in there so that they don't infect everybody else. Otherwise, they're going to have to implement mass testing. Just test everyone. Anybody who's outside, just test them, everybody, right? Just to see where they are. And we're going to, frankly, probably have to lose some rights. You know, and that's the whole other thing. That's what's going on in South Korea. The quarantine marshals, they're called, they have absolute authority. So you have no more privacy. You got no more rights just to find out who's got it. So it'll be like Rojin Kim just got it from Bob Smith attending a workshop, you know, and then like everybody in that workshop now needs to get tested. Like they're just like all on top of it to control it. So those are your real options here. These are our options. One is to implement mass testing, go crazy, lose rights, test everybody, find out who's got it, create a lot of social pressure, right? Everybody's going to be wearing masks. Here's the thing, regardless if it's the testing strategy or the quarantine containment strategy where they're going to have to start removing people and start putting them in places, culture is fundamentally shift. You know, people are going to start wearing masks in Western cultures, and it's not going to be weird. Masks and gloves. People are going to start gloving up, masking up. It's not going to be weird. People are going to start doing pandemic thing. It's just going to be part of life, just like in Asia, you know. People, the social distancing, it's little things. Like the Italians and the Iranians, apparently, you know, they're very touchy-feely, kissy culture. And that was one of the reasons why it probably spread. Also, a lot of elderly people are there. Elderly people, I guess, go out a lot in Italy, so that was a big part of it. Why all the deaths, you know. So there's a lot of factors. And I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll see. It doesn't look good. I mean, I'll be honest. It's going to get bad. But we're going to get through it as long as we just fucking stay home. Just stay the fuck home, guys. Don't go out there. Shit's popping, right? There's no reason to go out. I mean, if you have to go out, then you have to. But otherwise, you know, this shit is going to be popping off for at least a couple months, you know. I don't know if we're going to be forced inside this whole time, but it's just looking at the trajectory. Unless they start doing some fucking draconian things, which, I don't know, the speed of our government. Isn't it a great time, guys, where the rubber meets the road on political philosophies like what's libertarianism, statism? Who's going to help us? The state? The free market? Who is it? I don't know. Come on. I got a poli-sci degree that I got a bunch of student loan debt on, so I guess that's paying off. Hooray. Hooray. I don't know. Anyways. Well... I guess that's it, guys. I don't know. You know, I'm gonna be trying to do this more often, updating you guys. Trying to eventually, I will probably stop harping on this as we're all into the new reality, and we're all like, yeah, okay, we get it, okay, we get it, we get it. And so, you know, things will change. There will be a new type of normal that appears from this shift in life, and we're taking it day by day, man. I'm just to summarize, exponential function. Try to learn just look at it. Just start from 1 and double it to 2, and then go 4, and then go 8, and then go 16, and then go 32, and then go 64, and then you know what I'm saying, 128, 256, right? You get it? 512, huh? 1024, 2048, right? 4,096. See how fast we're going up? See how we just went from 1, and this happens every 2-3 days. All right, I'll stop. Don't want to freak you guys. I'm sorry. Don't want to freak you guys out. But thank you for listening to the Rojin Kimcast. I'm sorry. I'm just working out my own anxieties. I'm doing it the best I can. I'm scared. sure. But like that dude on the Joe Rogan podcast, Michael Osterholm, I'm ruining his name. But like he said, you got to get scared into your wits, right? So I'm trying to be scared into my wits, trying to act right, trying to just trying to batten down the hatches, and Godspeed, we make it through, right? That's all we got. I mean, it's a crazy time, man. Crazy time. I thought having 2 impeachments in my lifetime was a crazy thing, but I thought 9/11 was a crazy thing, but this is crazy. The only thing aliens might as well. Fuck it. Might as well get the aliens coming. That's the only thing. Aliens, asteroid impact, I don't know. Bring it on, I guess. Anyways, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook, where you see me fighting the fight to get the information out there and trying to make people laugh. In this crazy time. Not trying to avoid it, looking right at it, looking right at you, COVID, looking right at you, Rona, looking right at you, Corey, looking right at you, Roni, all right? Whatever your fucking nickname's going to be, I'm looking at you, all right? I've been looking at you, all right? Listen to the Asian guy, guys. Listen to him. Listen to him about the math and the disease. If you get the Bradal doctors for some reason, listen. All right, I'm sorry. If anything, I think the Chinese, they got us into this mess. They're going to get us out. You better send us those goddamn masks. All right. I'm sorry. I was wrapping up. Thank you for listening to the Rojan Kimcast. Thank you for watching. And, subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. Follow me online. Follow me all over the place. You could listen to this shit on the podcast places. Apple, Stitcher, Spotify, whatever. Fucking follow me. All right. Well, thank you for listening. And, stay inside. Stay safe. We'll get through this.